everybody, and it's Lilia here with the Help Yourselves podcast. And tonight with me, I have Giovanna Franklin. Giovanna's been a friend of Heal Scotland and myself for a long time now. How are you doing, Giovanna?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for inviting me here. It's great.
You are welcome. And so had a lot of exciting things happening recently. You've got a book. You've got a new course, and also the fact that Lynn McTaggart's really interested in the work that you and your friend in New Mexico have been doing. That's pretty
That's right,
exciting
Vanessa
news,
Morgan. Yes,
wasn't it? So,
it's very exciting time. It's really exciting, and actually, just a couple of hours before jumping up here, I was sent a link to an Instagram, an American podcast. It's called the Dark Horse podcast, and I actually shared it on the Heal Scotland Instagram because it's amazing. Biologists, doctors, I mean, big names in America, they're talking about homeopathy, and they're saying, "Oh, wow, they're actually waking up. They're remembering homeopathy used to be a big thing in
yes.
America. We used to have colleges, we used to have homeopathic hospitals. There was a lot of expertise, and it actually works. And wow! And so this is a great time. It's the renaissance for holistic medicine in general, for complementary. I don't want to call it alternative anymore.
No,
People
absolutely
are waking
not.
up.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think everybody's talking about it now, isn't it? That people are now more open. I know that certainly we're getting people to the hub that are very, very well versed, well educated, don't want to take the Kool-Aid, drink the Kool-Aid anymore, really looking for natural ways to do it. And obviously I send clients to you, especially I think um, when for kids, because I think there's so many, even trying to get a kid to drink herbs that might not taste good, it can be challenging. But I think homeopathy is brilliant for kids. And just for those the people that have never met you before, can you just give us a story about how you started out? It was really your child that got you into this.
Yes, I mean, I can't believe the fact that if it wasn't for my son, who was diagnosed with autism when he was 4 years old, honestly, I would never have looked into homeopathy at all.
Mhm.
Not that I was a big fan of mainstream medicine, because I never was. I mean, in my family, it was all about good food and natural supplements anyway, but I had no idea what homeopathy was. And because of my son's condition, and he was nonverbal, and he was really challenging, his behavior was really challenging, and I had absolutely no help from mainstream medicine, the NHS, nothing. So I only had the two options: either accept and cope, or try and look for answers. And I looked everywhere, and I went down the mainstream medicine first, and the functional medicine, and the supplements, and all the things. And then by chance I found homeopathy, and my son was thriving on it. And that's when I decided, well, I need to know more about this. And
Mhm.
once you start, I mean, I don't know, it was a bug. I couldn't stop learning about it.
Well, we're all
So
very grateful that you did. Because that you didn't stop and that you've brought all that new information forward in Scotland. And I know that I know you help people from all over the world. Somebody's asking here, is it possible to treat autoimmune gastritis?
yes, it is. I mean, homeopathy is a system of medicine. So just like you would go to the GP and tell about your symptoms, or you would go to a Chinese medicine doctor, and it's just another system of medicine. But
Mhm.
what it does is it stimulates the body to heal itself. And so autoimmune, anything actually, that is a big topic right now, because when I started, it was mainly children with autism, ADHD, and their families. And now, especially since COVID, it's all autoimmune, and it's all, chronic fatigue and mast cell activation,
Yeah,
massive allergies, which are all under the umbrella of autoimmune.
yeah,
So yes,
absolutely.
so definitely, yeah.
And I think, well, for me, and I think you're probably the same, it doesn't really matter what the label is that you've been given. The body's struggling for whatever
Yeah,
reason to try and heal
exactly.
itself, which it will always strive to do. So, the name of the dis-ease is actually irrelevant. It's all about giving the body back the power.
Yeah,
I say
yeah,
you need enough petrol to get wherever you want to
yeah.
go.
Yeah,
And
like, Hahnemann used to say, the father of homeopathy, there are no diseases, there are sick people. And
yeah,
you treat each one individually.
absolutely. I totally agree. Yeah, so obviously homeopathy is one of the things that you do, but you also do backflower remedies and you do tissue salts.
Yes.
So your new book is about the tissue salts. Can you tell us about that?
So it's an ebook that I have available, and I put it together because I wanted to be able to offer something that was simple to read, not a massive, big encyclopedia,
Mhm,
and practical.
mhm.
Because tissue salts, and that's why I'm really passionate about teaching about it, because it's only 12. There are only 12 tissue salts, and they're easy to use once you know how to use them, and it doesn't take a long time to learn. And this is why the workshop is only in the one day. And just to start from the beginning, what are tissue salts? They are essential minerals. They're
Yeah.
essential minerals that were discovered in the 19th century by Dr. Schlussler, and that's why they're also called Schlussler salts. Try saying that
Yes.
after a couple of drinks, and he realized that these are the essential minerals that the body needs at the cellular level. So all our cells all over our body need these tissue salts to keep structure integrity uh, at the mitochondrial level, and they do a lot of things for our skin, for our detoxing system, for our digestion system, for our sleep, for our mental health. And the difference between, because a lot of people say, yes, I can take minerals from Holland and Barrett's, the supplements. The difference is that tissue salts are already bioavailable because they are in micro doses, meaning that the body can absorb them and use them. Whereas the supplements that we get, the doses are already too big, and that means that the body just they bypass the body, we just eliminate them, and it just becomes really expensive urine. The body is not able to absorb them and utilize them as well. And so yeah, so this is what the workshop is about, and the ebook is about. And these tissue salts are also found in food. I mean, and this is also part of the workshop. In plants and fruit and whatever we're eating. The problem is that what we're eating now is so depleted of real nutrients because of all the GMOs and all the insecticide and all the things, that what we're eating now looks like what our parents and our grandparents were eating, but it's not anymore. And this is why
Mm,
so many people feel that they need to supplement or do something in addition. But if you have your tissue salts and you know how to use them, I mean, just a simple example, when I watch, the rare times I watch TV, there are so many adverts for Gaviscon and antacids and all these things. And all you need, if you know, all you need is magphos, magnesia phosphorica, or natrum carbonicum, sodium carbonate, and that's it. And that's the acid disappear. And you can give that to babies, colics, all these things. I mean, they're not. I would say they are life changing in the sense that you just have the solution at the tip of your fingers, and you don't need to go to the pharmacy anymore. You don't need to fill your body with chemicals, basically. Um, and they're so simple. So we're not talking rocket science or healing goodness knows what condition, but on a day-to-day basis, if you learn how to use them, it's your immune system, you're keeping yourself and your family healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is the thing, we are looking for alternatives. Kids, and especially young kids, they go to nursery, they come home with every single bug that they get going. There's coughs, there's maybe throats, there's runny noses. So it's so helpful to have a really natural kind of treasure chest of things that you can give them, with a wee bit of TLC that is going to do no harm. So I think it's quite a short course. Was it 2 to 3 hours?
It's 4 hours. It's from
4 hours.
11 to 4 in the
11
afternoon.
till
So
4.
yeah, it's 5 hours. There's lunch provided, a light lunch
Lunch.
with a break. And the main thing that I'm also really passionate about is that it's in person. Because some people
Yes.
were asking, oh, can you record it? And I could, and I've done this before, but I think that we really need to go back, if we can, to the in-person energy,
I totally
uh,
agree.
the give and take. And also because we have this amazing space now, we have the hub, and
I
it's such
know.
a beautiful space. So if you can, I
Absolutely.
know that it's not for, if you're too far or whatever, I understand. But if you can, I think it's great that we have this.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you travel at the right time, well, it's half an hour, 35 minutes from Glasgow. I mean, it's beautiful. The drive out there is absolutely beautiful, and the venue's beautiful. And I think you're right, in person, but you pick up more, and then you can ask you questions. Because the other thing
Exactly.
is that I find with recording, because I've kind of stopped doing it as well, because you don't want things that are private recorded. Um,
That as
you
well.
know,
Yeah.
so people can discuss things and open up. And I think also when you come to courses, it's great the other people that you meet, kind of
Yes.
like minded people getting together to learn this kind of thing, to get this real information. Because you're like me, you give away a lot. You want to teach people how to do it for themselves and become more interdependent rather than dependent on a healthcare system. So the course basically is going over the 12 salts that can be
Yeah.
used in your day-to-day life quite safely
Yeah.
and simply. And
Yeah.
so tell us about your book.
So the book on tissue salts is, if you like, a compendium. So everybody who comes to the workshop will also receive the book. That will be included,
Awesome.
and that's your reference book. There is also an index at the end, in alphabetical order by symptoms.
Mhm.
So it's a really, really practical reference book and a reminder, so you don't have to come with notebooks and worried about taking
Yes.
notes and things like that.
Mhm. And
Okay.
would you say, is it, because Nicola Harkins is coming down and she's doing a couple of courses for therapists, and then she's doing a day for, Joe blogs like us that are just lymph curious. Would you say this course is for Joe blogs, or is it can therapists? Would it be a helpful addition for therapists too?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's for everybody because, like I said, it's like the best kept secret. And homeopaths can be a little bit snobby about tissue salts because they are so simple and easy to
Uh-huh.
use, and that's why they're not even in the curriculum for the homeopathic qualification, and they are so easy, but at the same time they're really powerful. So whether you've never heard of tissue salts or homeopathy ever in your life, or if you are a therapist, that's an amazing addition to your
To
toolbox.
add in, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely fantastic. And is it the 5th of September?
Yes, the 5th, the
The
Saturday.
5th of
Yeah.
September, and it's 4 hours. So that's great. That's a really lovely thing to do of a weekend. So let's talk about Lynn McTaggart getting in touch. So tell us how that happened.
Right. So that actually happened because of Vanessa Morgan. So if
Uh-huh.
you don't know or if you don't remember, Vanessa Morgan actually came over here,
Hmm.
uh, was it 3 years ago, or 4 years ago, and she and I and you, Lilia, we were discussing what Vanessa had been working on, which was homeopathic snake venom remedies for long COVID. And
Mm-hmm.
she had a stack of case studies, really well documented. And she taught me when she came over to the UK, and that was the first time I met her. And then after that, she went down to Mexico. There was a kind of convention of holistic therapists, and it was a worldwide convention. And Lynn Taggart was there, and
Aye.
they just met at the breakfast table at the hotel,
Really?
and they started chatting. And Vanessa told her about her studies and her experience. And at that point, she said, "Okay, I'm going to speak to my producer, and one way or another, we're gonna do something together." Of course, because Lynn McTaggart is obviously very busy. She's got this publication, What Doctors Don't Tell You. She's linked with the Gaia TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, production times, she probably has already everything scheduled from here too. So it was not until a few months ago that the producer contacted Vanessa again, and she said, "Would you be available for an interview?" And the interview happened, and then the interview was included in this publication, What Doctors Don't Tell You, and it went absolutely viral.
I
And
brilliant.
my involvement in that is that this okay, so Vanessa and I started to think about, well, we really should be thinking about teaching for real and really putting together a school, and this is going to be launched soon. So this
Amazing.
is going, and the snake venom is going to be part of the curriculum. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, and of course, I have been using this method as well for my cases
Uh-huh.
over here. And I think I shared one testimonial of a lady who worked with me for about 3 months. And she resolved her issues with long COVID. She was left with shortness of breath and unbelievable anxiety, OCD, cleaning everything, and that's gone. So yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. That's it. And for those who maybe aren't familiar with Lynn McTaggart's name, she's a huge brand in our world. She wrote The Field, she wrote The Bond, The Intention Experiment, and The Power of Eight, all incredible books. She's obviously big friends with Joe Dispenza and Bruce Lipton and Greg Braden, Cryon. So she's really, and she was a journalist, really, wasn't she? And researcher, and then she kind of sort of stumbled sideways into this world with what she was seeing
Mhm.
and learning. So yeah, and that, I mean, that's going to help you guys enormously, having that level of brand attached to what you're doing. And that's what you need. I mean, it's sad that we need big brands, but it does make a massive difference to reach the masses, you know?
Yes, yes, you do. You do need that. In fact, Vanessa was also contacted by Brian Ardis. I don't know if you know
Yeah, I
him.
know Brian Artis, yeah. Mhm. Well, I
So
don't know him, but I
she's
know who you mean.
going to do a podcast. She's going to be interviewed on a podcast by
Brilliant.
him at some point, because again, these things have, their timing. But
Steve from the Good Food Project, he had him over this year, it was earlier. Sarah Myhill and Brian Ardis. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because again, see, in America, there are all these massive big conventions. There was another one in Los Angeles, and that was, I can't remember when that was. Was that January, February? And that's when Vanessa also met Brian Ardis. And so, yeah,
Mhm.
so all these things are happening, but there is
Yeah.
also definitely an opening. There's more opening, more understanding, and less witch hunt, I would say, because there
Yeah,
was, for
absolutely.
sure.
Because
with
people are getting sicker, and they're going to the doctor, they're getting tests, and they're not getting better. And I think that so they're being forced to look, to different ways to heal. So it's very exciting times for us witches.
Yeah, yeah, for
Ab-
sure.
Absolutely. So can you just talk a little bit about the snake venom though, and exactly, what you've been seeing with it, what how it, because it's still a big issue for people, this, isn't it?
Yes. So the original idea was that at some point, doctors and researchers have started to notice that um, the symptoms, first of all, of COVID or um, the COVID vaccine injury were very similar to the symptoms that you get from poisonous snake bites.
Uh-huh.
And then they started to analyze the blood of people with the symptoms, and there were amazing similarities between, the enzymes of snake venom, and it was really like people have been poisoned. And it's really interesting because this is what a lot of patients say. I mean, especially the ones with COVID vaccine injury, they really explain, they describe their experience. The minute they got the jab, they felt like there was poison coursing through my body. They really say the word poison. And so um, we started to see documentaries about, and doctors saying, oh, maybe we can make a new medicine from snake venom to treat people with vaccine injury or with long COVID. And that's when Vanessa at the time thought, well, hang on a minute, we've had in homeopathy, we have used snake remedies for 200 years at least, and they're already there. So let's have a look again at the remedy pictures and the symptomatology. And that's when she started to look into that. And it's so simple. For example, um, uh, there are, well, the shortness of breath is one of them. The blood coagulation, the blood clots, that's one of the results of snake poison, particular certain snakes like cobra. And you die because your blood starts to clog up and nothing flows and you choke.
Ah,
So
which is
these
what's
are
been happening.
really, yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Or some of the weirdest symptoms. I had a patient who took the jab, and she developed cellulitis, which was really painful in her legs, which was incredibly painful, apart from the aesthetics, but it was really painful, and the legs were swollen and discolored, like blue in color. This is another symptoms that you can get with um, the bite of rattlesnakes.
Uh-huh.
So again, it's all to do with blood circulation, and of course there are also the mental emotional symptoms, because again, something that I would never had thought, the number of people who, on top of the physical symptoms, were also having, it was almost like a change of personality. There were people
Mhm.
saying, I've never had anxiety in my life. I've never been anxious. And now it's like I'm jumpy. I can't sleep and I worry about everything. So there is also that, the depression. And this is another symptom that you see in snake remedies in homeopathy. So it was really revisiting remedies that had been used for, like I said, hundreds of years already, and applying that to this new
Mhm.
landscape that we have. And it was so effective and it was so simple. So yeah, of course, it was not depending on the case, because again, we're all individuals.
Mhm.
You can use other different remedies here and there as support treatment. But the snake remedies, it's amazing how powerful it is. And it makes sense. And I know that the university in Arizona, they're still studying and they're still doing their trials on how to make and crucially, patent a new medication from snake venom that then they can put on the market. But it's the same principle. It's the same thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's absolutely fantastic. And I think, we're always looking for really complicated solutions, I think. And then you realise that, these kind of small things, doing them regularly, because I'm sure you maybe find the
Mhm.
same as Claire and I do. People start off very enthusiastic about doing something and then they stop before the body's had a
Yes,
chance.
that is it's like with everything else. And I do understand, because typically the people who come to me, I am the last resort because they have tried everything and they're tired. And
Mhm.
somebody said to me, I'm tired of being treated like a guinea pig. And
Mhm.
I totally get it, but that's, I mean, short of having a magic wand,
Yeah.
that's what I can offer. That's what we've got.
Yeah, exactly.
um,
And it's the remembering to keep taking it until you get the
yes,
result. It doesn't happen.
yeah,
I think we're so used to takes this for 5 days. And that's not, unless you're trying to trash somebody's microbiome, most natural
yeah,
things, you have to have an eye on the longer game to really get the body back into balance.
yeah.
So that's
And working with somebody and monitor and follow up, because that's the other thing. Okay, I take this away and I take it every day until I finish, and then what? But if if you don't communicate, if you don't, you know,
well, and I think the follow up, it gives you a level of accountability as well, you know,
yeah, yeah,
because that's the reality. If we're checking in or somebody's checking in with us, then you're more likely, because but people are busy, life gets in the way,
hmm,
it's a challenging time for a lot of people. And always say that's what I love about the biotherapies, giving people the energy with the biotherapies so
yeah,
that they're in a better place to make better choices. Because
yeah,
when you feel great, making great choices is obvious. But when you feel
yeah,
low and apathetic, and you maybe have felt like that for years, then
mm,
it can be really challenging to even imagine yourself being well.
yeah,
So, yeah, getting the energy up. And that's why I love homeopathy as well, because it's a really gentle, simple thing to do. And I always say to people when they come to me, the worst thing that can happen is nothing. You're
yeah,
not going to create an issue further down the line. And, if you clean up your nutrition and follow the
hmm,
protocol, you're going to get a result.
yeah, yeah, yes, and yeah, and it's great because it also works with all these other holistic modalities, and that's the
Yeah,
other thing, and that's why I like Heal Scotland, because my dream has always been to have a place where you have the whole menu of effective,
yeah,
gentle,
exactly.
natural, holistic therapies, and they can all work together, and you can pick and choose.
Absolutely. Because I find, I'm sending people to Stuart to see if there's any infection in the mouth. I'm sending people to you. I'm sending people to Vida, family constellations, all of these things, and Claire, obviously, for herbs. So, you want to have all these amazing healers on hand
Mm-hmm.
that people
Yeah.
can, because, it's unlikely that one person's got all the information that you need as you progress along your journey. And some people are just drawn. There's definitely a big thing about this is the right time for this. And, in a
Mm-hmm.
couple of years' time, it could be something else. So, no, it's exciting times. Well, anybody, I've put the link for the course. Please just book on via the link there. It's on the Heal Scotland website as well under Heal Together. That's everything that's happening up at the hub. We've got some phenomenal events coming up there. And it'd be great if Vanessa and you could do some teaching up there when you get to that stage.
That would really be amazing. I
Yeah.
would absolutely love that. I keep her up to date with the Heal Scotland development.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Um, but
Please
yeah,
give
we're
her
in
my
the
kindest. I mean, after we did that podcast, YouTube took it down in about 20 minutes,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah,
still
yeah.
have it. I still have it. We can still sneak it in.
Yes. But even that is changing. I can feel it's changing. There is another really, really amazing American homeopath, Kate Birch, and she's also a friend of Vanessa's, and she's also going to be a guest teacher like me once the institute is up and running.
Uh-huh.
And she has founded this organization for homeoprophylaxis to help children and to educate families before they decide to vaccinate so that they really have informed consent. And she's been persecuted, I mean, and she's so brave, but she always had to basically work with an army of lawyers just to protect herself.
Aye. Uh-huh.
But even that now it's lessening, she doesn't need
Yeah.
to be that careful anymore. Things are
Uh-huh.
really opening. So
Yeah, the
it's
truth, the truth will
yeah,
out. I've always thought that. It's so great to see it actually happening. Yeah, it's definitely, times are definitely changing. Well, listen, thank you so much. Great to chat as always. And you're going to be at the festival up in Quarriers Village, which is the 20th to the 23rd of August. It's our first summer festival because we've got these halls and we don't need to worry about midges. So I think you're going to be on the Saturday, but just again, check the website, guys. I've got day tickets went on sale today, and you can come and you can access all these incredible healers, leaders, and teachers in their fields. And it's interesting when you were saying there about your son, Giovanna, because I was like, pretty much everybody who's been presenting at Heal Scotland has walked through their own healing journey, and that's why they're in that place. And I think
yeah.
that's how we heal Scotland. That's how we get people involved, helping people. Because I know the Helen Matthews, who's the girl that went viral on TikTok and has driven me literally hundreds of clients. That's what it was. She had fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, you name it, endometriosis, and then within kind of 2 weeks, 80% of her symptoms had gone. So people are like, what? Because just
Mm-hmm.
everybody in their granny is feeling, these things. So it's great that you can help. And
Yeah.
there's always hope. Always, always, always. When you create the right environment externally and internally, the body will heal itself. We know that. So listen, thank you so much. And I will see you at the festival, if not before.
All
Yeah,
right.
click
Okay.
the link, guys, book your place, get on this amazing course, and keep your family healthy and well and non toxic. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Night, everyone.
Bye.